I am going to turn this over to Keller ISD and let them take it from there. Suzanne and Valerie.
Hi guys, I'm Valerie Miner. I'm the Professional Development Coordinator in Keller ISD, and I have an amazing partner who I can't see, but I know she's here.
Yes, I'm Suzanne McGahey. I'm the social studies coordinator here in Keller.
Yes. All right.
All right, so the way in which we use video coaching actually has become more important as we've reached the COVID era here. But kind of going back to the beginning of this, what Valerie and I both were working on was somehow developing teachers within the classroom for leadership positions, not only for them to grow as master teachers, but also for them to grow as leaders in the classroom and on their campus. And so what we noticed in our district in particular was there were a lot of learning opportunities for leadership if you wanted to leave the classroom. But our mission was to create those reflective master teachers and for those that wanted to stay in the classroom, but still be influential on their campus and in their classroom and continue to grow personally. So we created this ladder cohort, which you can see what each letter stands for there. But that really kind of was where all of this started. And we started this in 2018-19 school year.
Back in the day, y'all remember the old days?
Yes. So what a year in the life of Ladder looks like is in the spring, we have a social event. And I will say we had applications and the teachers had to go through a series of interviews and principal recommendations, and we had to come up with like the perfect cohort. And we were really blessed with 16 wonderful teachers for our first year, and we're up to almost 40 now. But in the spring, we meet for a social event. In the summer, they have a 2-day training in which we talk about brain research and how kids learn and best practices. And it's here where teachers start to set like a professional goal, what we call a problem of practice. And this is different from like what we have as our observation system here in Texas is the T-test system. It is different than that. It is, I have a class of 21 kids, 19 of them are below reading level, 2 of them are above reading level. How do I help my students this year? So it's very much a personalized problem of practice. And then we come back together in the fall and really set very strong goals that are related to their particular problem of practice. This is where the video reflections come in then. So we chose Athena as our video reflection pathway, and Valerie's going to talk to you about why that decision was made. We'll say this was the scariest part for teachers. Every time we interviewed a teacher, we say, well, you have to videotape yourself and everybody's going to watch and you're going to watch yourself. They were very, very fearful. It ended up being actually the biggest blessing. And they keep asking to do more video reflections. And one of our teachers said, it is the observation that has the lowest risk, but the highest reward. So I cannot push those video sessions enough. Then we actually do go into classrooms. We do a debrief with them and talk about their goal setting and things like that. And we give them very specific data, let them revamp their goals and how they want to work in the spring. And then we do it all over again in the spring. So they submit another video. They reflect on each other's practices. They ask questions, which Valerie's going to go over here in just a second. But that's kind of where we are right now with how we're using video coaching.
Yeah, so just as Suzanne said, we even had a teacher who has been in Ladder now for 3 years who said, as soon as I found out that I had to record myself, I almost decided not to apply. So we do hear that from them, especially as, this first group that went through that was kind of what we call our guinea pigs or our pilot group. Really the first teachers in our district to go through this video-based professional learning. And just kind of that scary stigma there is to recording. But as Suzanne said, they all have come back and said, this was the most rewarding thing that I could do, to sit and watch myself. We actually had our teachers help us present last week at a conference where we were talking about this same thing. And one of the teachers said to us, or said to the group, no offense, administrators, but when you come in and tell me I'm doing a great job, I've been teaching for 15 years, that doesn't help me. What I need to know really is from my colleagues and from myself what's actually happening in my classroom. And so the videos and the giving each other feedback on the platform has been the most valuable feedback that these teachers are getting. And just remember, the whole idea of our ladder program and our ladder cohort is to take those amazing teachers that we need to have as instructional leaders in our district and keep them in the classroom, but we've got to give them something to dig their teeth into and to grow as educators. So the whole idea is it's personalized. We can walk into a teacher's classroom, but who knows what's going to be going on. A principal can come in for a walkthrough, but who knows? It could be test day. It could be transition time. If we're in elementary, it could be snack time. I am famous for walking in during snack time when I'm doing class visits. And so the teachers are able to choose what they're going to record, what they want feedback on. And when we ask our ladder teachers to record their videos, we ask them to record a section of time that helps us give them specific feedback on that particular problem or practice or goal so that they're continuing to move forward. So they get to choose. It's absolutely the most personalized experience that we could offer our teachers, is they get to have control over what we are seeing, what they're reflecting on. And as Suzanne said, they want to continue to, we only require one video per semester. They want to do more. And I know we're not talking about our first year teacher program, but because of the way that our ladder teachers responded to this video coaching experience, we decided to open it up for our first year teachers as well. So it's definitely something that's growing in our district. And I know we're not getting to the advice, but I would say definitely start with a smaller group. Don't try to go district-wide right away, but start with that smaller group. And I think that might be why we are experiencing so much success. And so just kind of looking at what the process is. So we put our teachers into cohorts based on their problems of practice. And so once they upload their video, they're going to do a little self-reflection. So we're asking them to watch the video, to reflect back on that. And then their cohorts watch the videos as well. And so we're asking them to give feedback to that as well directly on the Athena platform. One of my favorite things, as you can see on this picture, is that there is time-stamped feedback, so I know exactly where that question was asked. I can jump right to that and see what's going on there when they ask that question. I can respond to that question. We can go another step and say, I'm going to take this and go a little bit further and establish a commitment there. So I am a huge fan of Athena. It has been such a great platform for us, but really just having that conversation. So, I don't know about other districts, but we definitely are running into substitute issues. And so we can still keep the conversation going and the learning going and the feedback going without pulling our teachers from their classrooms, which in the last couple of years has probably been one of the most valuable pieces, is that we can still keep that continuity going. So they can provide suggestions again, they can ask questions, and it's just a great way to help us keep moving forward. Suzanne and I and the coach that also worked with these teachers, we also watch the videos and give them feedback too. So they're getting feedback not only from their cohort and their colleagues, but they're also getting feedback from us as well.
And so we have a number of teachers. So we have everything from a pre-K teacher to AP biology. We have PE. We had a life skills teacher. So we found this to be applicable across the board, no matter what level or what you are teaching. So this was one of our high school teachers. She said, if you're brave enough to accept the challenge, take a look at yourself, literally videotape yourself teaching. You'll be amazed at what you think you are doing during a lesson versus what you were really doing during a lesson, which takes us back to Adam's brilliant video observations at the beginning. One of the funniest things was one teacher said, I know I'll never wear those pants again, So, yes, but they do get to really see the nitty gritty of what's going on in their classrooms.
So obstacles, obviously we've all faced quite a bit of obstacles, but I will say, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, honestly, this tool has helped us kind of get over some of those obstacles and continue the learning, even though we can't pull our teachers from the classroom. But if you're thinking about, Suzanne went over sort of a year in the life of a ladder teacher. We sadly like to say that last year didn't really exist because our teachers didn't get to get that full experience. And we really were trying to be careful about not putting too much on their plates when they were already teaching in person and online and quarantining and having all the things, right? So we did kind of scale back just a bit, but We normally had a 2-day training. We moved that to a 1-day training, and it was over Zoom, right? We did try to do some Zoom meetings during the fall to keep them going. We kept that video reflection going, like I mentioned, so that we could keep that learning and that problem of practice moving forward. And then we, instead of having the teachers observe each other this semester, unfortunately, we weren't able to pull them from the classroom to do that. So we did have them recording their video and leaving feedback to each other. But what we did is Suzanne and I, along with the coach that works with us, we actually did all 40 observations and gave them feedback. So we had 3 weeks of fun. It was actually amazing, but very tiring, right? We definitely want the teachers to get into the classrooms to do that, but we were able to give them that feedback. And we're currently in the period where we're doing our debrief meetings from that data. So the teachers are getting that information from us so that they can continue to move forward with their problem of practice. We are super hopeful that we're going to be able to do the full experience in the spring. So everybody cross their fingers and knock on all the wood that we will magically get enough substitutes to be able to continue the in-person professional learning. But like I said, honestly, this video coaching or this platform has really helped us get over many of the obstacles, both with our ladder teachers and with our first year teachers. Being able to use this video platform and not have to pull the teachers has been such a gift to us. So the fact that we kind of, that timing right before COVID hit, we kind of got this going. And again, I think the main reason we are experiencing so much success is we were very intentional about the group that we chose to pilot this. And when you come to our district, the conversation is starting to happen to grow and grow and grow and get more and more teachers involved in this video coaching. So it's definitely growing, but we've gone a very slow rollout, which I would highly recommend doing that just to help. And then just kind of things that we've learned as far as the ladder cohort overall. Obviously, when we get those teachers who are just great teachers, leaders, and really want to continue to grow, they blossom even more. They are so excited to just do all the learning. They want to share. They want to put those videos out there. They want to learn from each other. So we utilize them for a lot of different projects in our district, big projects. When you personalize the experience, allow them to set goals and to kind of track their own professional growth and give them that ownership. I mean, teachers are begging to be treated as professionals, and this is the number one way we can honor them, is that we understand that you are a professional, so you are in charge of your own professional growth, and here's a tool that we can give you to help you get there. Another thing we learned, which was interesting, is when we're creating those cohorts, don't worry about grade levels, but think about what they're working on. So we actually have a pre-K teacher and an AP biology teacher in the same group, and they thought we were crazy, but they were working on the same type of thing. They were working on mindfulness in their classroom, so they can work together, and they realized they had a lot in common. So don't kind of feel like you have to put them always with grade levels. Relationships are so important, and trust, especially if we're sharing these videos with each other. So how can you build that trust among your group so that they're comfortable giving each other feedback and actually sharing that experience with each other? And then, just like Suzanne said that our teacher said, keep the stakes low and their rewards high. And it all goes back to the fact that they are reflecting on their learning and getting feedback from their colleagues who are in the trenches with them. It's going to be so much more valuable than any of us as administrators giving them this feedback. So that's kind of what we have learned, and what maybe, little nuggets that you could take with us, along with maybe start small and grow slowly.
Thank you so much, Keller ISD. That is just, it's fabulous. You really ignite my desire to provide that opportunity to more teachers to have that kind of learning and growing.